Hey everybody, what's going on? Lines here today, and today I'm coming at you with a review of the Fitbit Charge HR. Now, I've been using this for about 2 weeks now, and I decided to do a full review. Yeah, let's get into this video, and the first thing I want to talk about is physical design. Now, the actual design of the Fitbit is actually really nice. For starters, you just push this little button on the side. It's just one button accessible, if you guys can see that right there. Focusing on that, it says 1:46 p.m. right now, and you can easily just switch back and forth between different things it has. Okay, one thing I want to point out really quick: the heart rate sensor isn't the best on the watch, but if you're sitting down for a certain period of time, it will look pretty decent actually. If you're walking around like recently or anything, you have to give Fitbit about like 10 minutes or so of like calm relaxation to actually give you a good reading of your heart rate. But right now, I was just walking around, and it wasn't exactly the most accurate measurement. So keep that in mind, guys. It's only really going to work unless you're sitting down and in like a calm environment. So I wouldn't recommend using the heart rate monitor if you want a full-out accurate response. But it's eyeballing it. It's a pretty good measurement of the heart rate. Now, yeah, getting back to the physical design here, guys. Instead of just a little bit of a kind of like a little nub they use on the Fitbit, not the Charge, I'm sorry, but the just the Fitbit what's it called? Fitbit Flex, I think that's what it's called. Here, the Flex. They just have a little nub there, but this is actually a physical watch design. But if I take this off really quick, it's really easy to get off, just like a normal watch, actually. Taking it off really quick. On the back right here, you see the heart rate sensor, first thing you see. You also have the nice little charging port right here in the back, so that's pretty nice. One thing to point out, though, is the charger right here, standard USB, obviously, but the actual thing to charge it with isn't like a standard micro USB or anything like that, so you have to get a separate charger, just like specifically made by Fitbit. I've neglected to see like a third-party charger made by this, so I'm pretty sure you might have to pay like officially from the Fitbit website. So keep that in mind, guys. This is also a pretty short cord. That's one design flaw I think they had with this, but otherwise I think it's a pretty decent cord. It's very well built, and one good thing right here is that since it is short, it can bend a lot, but because it is reinforced right around here, you shouldn't have too much of a problem with the wire actually breaking. So yeah, that was one good thing that they included, but not big of a fan of the fact this isn't like a universal like micro USB charger or anything like that. Now, getting back to the actual Fitbit here, you see that it's pretty slim, as if you see it on my wrist right here. It does look quite nice, actually, like with the side profile. It doesn't look that thick to me, in all honesty, just for the fact that it is, like, pretty thin. It's nice black. It's kind of like a rubbery feeling. It feels great in the hand, guys. After a while, maybe, like, I'd say maybe, like, a 6-hour period, maybe it does like feel a little irritating on the hand. You might have to move it around, just give you like a little bit of adjust. Maybe you have to like scratch your hand. You do notice that it leaves a little bit of a mark here if you have it on too tight, but otherwise it's pretty good to me. Now, one thing right here you notice, I have a small scratch in the screen. Now, that's just from everyday wear and tear, guys. It's been about 3 weeks. I'm a little disappointed that it did scratch a little bit. Maybe I'll trade it in and get a new one because I'm a little disappointed with that. It did scratch a little bit, but for the amount of stuff that I've been doing with it, I'd say it's pretty solid. I haven't exactly dropped or anything like that, but I just like banged into a wall kind of, and like that kind of happened to that. So it's a very minor scratch. I can barely notice it, and it doesn't affect the display of it whatsoever. So that's like a good bonus side to that. So it didn't affect the display of it at all. I'm very happy with that. I thought if I scratched the screen, it would like completely mess up the display, but it still looks just fine. If you're seeing the reflection of the light, it doesn't look the best right now in the light, but I can tell you right now it does look great. The second thing I want to point out really quick with this is that it is water resistant. I wouldn't recommend wearing it in the shower or anything like that, just because I just don't recommend, even if it's waterproof, guys, I just don't like to wear things in the shower or anything like that. But it is water resistant, so if you're out in the rain, going for a run or anything like that, this will hold up just fine. But personally, I feel like all phones in general are just kind of, to somewhat of an extent, water resistant. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend like trying submerging in water or anything like that, but this is definitely water resistant, guys. I've tested it out in the rain or anything like that. It holds up fine. And if it gets wet on the screen, just give it a quick little wipe, it gets it right off. As well as this right here, the band itself is like water resistant, so if you put water on it, it just simply gets it off really nice and easy. So that's one thing I want to point out with that. Obviously, it is compatible with all phones. It has a an app. I'm not going to show you the app really quick, but it does have an app, and it's quite nice actually. The user face, you have to sync it. That's great. The fact that it is like this. This is the Charge HR again, guys. The only difference between the two, I believe, is the heart rate monitor. The other thing I want to talk to you guys about is if you are looking for a Fitbit, I don't exactly like the other Fitbits. I'm not liking the entry-level Fitbits. I don't know what those are called. The ones that are just little that you clip onto your shirt. I'll put a little link to the Fitbit website if you guys want to check those out. But I'm not a huge fan of the Flex just because it doesn't have like its own like independent screen or anything like that. I like the Charge because it does have a screen where you can check everything right here. The Flex only gave you an indication of like how far you were towards your 10,000 step goal, and you had to like go to your computer if you wanted to check anything else. So I like this a little bit better, guys, just because it has the actual screen. And I do not wear a watch in general, guys. Maybe if I do get an Apple Watch, we'll see how that goes, but probably not. I don't really wear a watch, but this, I can tell you guys, it's small enough that the screen is like just not really in your way. If you do need to check the time or anything like that, it's easier than pulling out your phone. I can tell you that for sure. Even if you're just like maybe forget your phone or anything like that, this does still function pretty well as far as phone time and stuff like that goes. I believe you can actually get like caller ID on this. I haven't tested that out, but I know that you can get like a caller ID type of thing on this. Like if you pair it with your phone via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, you can get like caller ID on this. I don't think you can't exactly answer the calls or anything like that from here, but you can like get caller IDs. So that's like kind of a little bit of a bonus Fitbit threw in there for you guys. But yeah, overall, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably rate this band at a solid maybe 7, if not anywhere from like a 7 to 9. And the only reason for that being is just one, the easy scratches. That's like the only thing that really stood out to me right here. But otherwise, this is probably one of the best, I guess, wearables for fitness tracking that I could probably see. But who knows, guys? The the Apple Watch will be out soon. We'll see how that compares to this. I'll be doing a full rundown of both. Yeah, like let you know how this goes. But yeah, as you can see right here, one last thing I want to point out right here is the amount of steps you take or anything like that. The steps seem to be pretty accurate, guys, and that's a big concern when it comes to anything like related to like health tracking and stuff like that. So that's really a big thing. It seems pretty accurate. Like if I'm counting about 10 steps, this comes out as around 7, anywhere from like 7 to 10, even like 7 to 12. So it's fairly accurate compared to like using your own smartphone. I know some people have like apps on their smartphone that just counts the steps, but that's not the best thing to use. This is probably one of the better things out there. And as far as battery life goes, guys, this has lasted me on standby, guys. This has lasted me up to like a week and a half. I don't exactly use this very vigorously throughout the day. I maybe occasionally will check the time like once an hour or something like that. So with me using it like pretty actively, I guess, maybe like once or twice throughout the hour, something like that, this gave me around 4 days, 5 days. That's fairly good. And as far as standby goes, because if I'm not active, maybe it's like snowing or anything like that, and not using it, this is giving me a very long standby time. I think it's giving me like maybe a week, if not a longer. That's that. And you can exactly check the battery life from this, or at least I don't know how to. Yeah, so that's battery life. So you get an email if you have it set up to a Fitbit account. So you do get an email from that. And yeah, that's pretty much all the features to get the Fitbit. And the final feature that I want to show off really quick is the stopwatch that you have really quick. I guess that's great for timing it. Obviously, that's a great little thing to have in there. You just hold the home button down, or home button, the only button actually. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Take care.